Start with your legs crossed, seated on 2 blankets if you have them. Gently use the palms of your hands to press your knees down while also bringing your shoulders down and back. After a few seconds, change the cross of your legs and repeat the exercise. Then, bring your hands to the center of your chest and take some deep inhalations and close your eyes. Next, clasp your hands together and reach them out as far as possible in front of you with your palms facing forward. Then tighten your elbows and bring your shoulders down and back. Maintaining this, raise your arms above your head. Make sure to keep those elbows tight. Hold it there for a few seconds. Then relax, shake it out, and let's move to standing poses. Standing with your hands by your sides, step or jump your feet wide. About 3 feet apart is good. Make sure both of your legs are firmly planted. Bring your arms up and then turn your left foot inward into a kickstand position. Then turn your right toes outward towards the edge of your mat. Next, make sure you pull your left hip back towards the outer edge of your mat. And also think about pulling your right inner thigh back as well. Once you feel stable, reach your right hand down to your right shin and place your left hand on your left hip and turn your chest forward. Nice job! Come back out of this pose and let's switch sides. Turn your right foot in and left toes out. And remember to pull that right hip back. Then, reach down with your left hand this time and grab your left shin with your right hand on your hip and rotate your chest forward. Let's switch sides and go one step further. This time, when you reach with your right, reach your left arm straight up towards the sky so that your arms are in a straight line. Remember to keep your chest forward. Then come back up and let's switch to the left side to repeat. Turn your right toes in, left toes out, pull your hip back, reach down to your shin, reach your right arm towards the sky. Next is Warrior One pose. Start the same way you did in Triangle pose by stepping or jumping your feet wide and then turning to your right. This time, instead of keeping your right leg straight, bend at the knee, making sure not to bend past your ankle. Your knee should be directly over it, while also keeping your chest and hips facing forward. Then look over your right hand while reaching your left hand behind you as far as you can. Let's do this on the other side. Bend the left knee this time, doing your best to keep it at a 90-degree angle. Again, don't go past your ankle. Keep your chest facing forward and reach that right arm back while looking over your left. Now, let's join these last 2 poses together. Back on your right side with your right knee bent, reach your right hand all the way down to your mat on the outside of your ankle. Then raise your left arm straight up so that your arms are in one straight line, and make sure to keep that chest forward. Come back up, and let's repeat on the other side. Bend your left knee, reach your left arm down to your mat, and your right arm up. Come up out of the pose, and now let's shake it out. Time to do a forward fold. Start with your feet together and in mountain pose. Reach your arms straight up above your head, and then slowly bring them down to try and touch your toes. It's okay if you can't get there, just reach as far as you can. After a few seconds, see if you can reach even farther until you can touch your fingertips to your mat. To make this pose more restful, you can clasp your hands to your elbows and let your head hang. Make sure to relax the muscles in your neck. After a few moments, slowly roll your body back to standing position. And rest. Then we're going to move to our last standing pose, tree pose. In a standing position, turn your left foot out and plant your right foot firmly. Think of it as your trunk. Then place your left foot as high as you can on the inside of your right thigh. Think of this as your branches. To help with balance, press your left foot and right inner thigh together firmly. You can also use a wall if your tree is a little wobbly. If you're comfortable enough, raise your hands high above your head. Think of this as the leaves. Looking good, tree. Now let's try the other side. This time, plant your left leg as your trunk. Place your right foot onto the inside of your left thigh for your branches. And raise your arms up. Now let's move down to the mat. We're going to start in plank pose. Make sure your body is in a straight line from your shoulders all the way to your bum. No sagging, ladies. From here, raise your hips up into downward dog pose. Try to keep a flat back and reach your hips back towards the edge of your mat. If you can, lower your heels as much as you can towards the ground. Next, raise your right leg up and then bring your knee in towards your chest. Then bring it back up. Come back down to downward dog. And then go down to all fours and rest for a moment. We're going to repeat this except with the left side. In downward dog, raise your left leg up. Then bring your left knee towards your chest. And back up again. Back to downward dog. Down to all fours. And rest. Next, we're going to lay on the floor, tummy down, with your palms flat on your mat. Your palms should be right next to your chest. Press them on the floor while also raising your chest up into cobra pose. Your feet should stay flat down on the mat. Come back down, and then we're going to repeat the pose again. See if you can raise your chest even higher this time. Come back down and lay your arms out by your side, palms facing up. And raise your chest again while simultaneously clasping your hands together behind your back. Lower back down and rest for a moment. Then let's repeat one more time, clasping your hands behind your back while also raising your feet off of the mat. If you're feeling really comfortable here, you can try the challenge pose. To do this, bend your knees and reach each arm back to try and clasp one foot with each hand. This is called boat pose. Come back to rest, and now let's do some cat-cow. On all fours, arch your back up towards the sky into cat pose. Then slowly lower your back, arching it towards the floor into cow pose. Repeat this a few times. Then relax. Child's pose is next. While on all fours, spread your knees wider than your hips and touch your toes together behind you. Reach your arms forward towards the opposite edge of your mat and spread your palms well. Then, reach your hips back so that you're almost sitting on your heels. Continue to reach your arms forward as far as you can. Then place your forehead on the mat and continue to reach. Feels good, doesn't it? Come up and rest. And now let's flip onto our backs. Laying with your feet flat on the floor, bend your knees and grab hold of the outside of your mat. Using your feet, press firmly into the floor and raise your hips up into bridge pose. Try to roll your shoulder blades underneath you as if you're tucking them in, and continue to raise your hips. And slowly lower yourself back down. And we'll repeat this one more time. Get ready. Raise your hips up and tuck your shoulders. Keep those hips high. This time, let's try to raise your right leg up as straight as you can while keeping your hips lifted. Hold it there for a few seconds, then lower your leg back down. Let's try the left leg. Raise that left leg up into a straight line as possible and hold it. And come back down, lower your hips, and rest. If you're comfortable here, continue to try bridge pose. If you would like to try the challenge pose, shoulder stand is next. If you've never tried this before, be sure to use a wall or have someone there to spot you so that you don't lose your balance. Laying flat on the floor, bend your knees, raise your feet, and grab hold of the outer edges of your mat. And slowly straighten your legs and roll your feet over your head. Place your hands on your lower back and then slowly walk them up as far as you can while reaching your toes towards the sky. You want your legs to be in a straight line. If you have a wall behind you, feel free to reach each leg back one at a time to touch your toes to the wall. When you're ready, slowly roll yourself back down onto your mat. Nice. Okay, last stretch here. Laying flat on your mat. Bring your right knee towards your chest while keeping your left foot flexed towards the sky. Pull your knee in as close to your chest as you can. Then bring your right leg back down and grab your left knee. Do the same thing here, keeping your right foot pointed towards the sky. Straighten your legs back out, and this time, bring both knees in towards your chest, one at a time. Hold them there, and then bring your nose towards your knees. I like to call this ball pose. Release, and now on to the most relaxing pose in yoga, Savasana. Here, you lay flat on the floor with your arms out to your sides, palms towards the sky. Let your feet fall outward and relax every bone and muscle in your body, from your toes to your abdomen, to your chest, to your face. We're talking even your eyebrows, ladies. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. Inhale, count to 5. Exhale, count to 5. Deep breaths in and out. Lay here for as long as you like. When you're ready, bring your hands towards your abdomen, bend your knees with your feet flat on the mat. And then slowly roll to your right side. Rest there for a moment, and then use your hands to push yourself back up into a seated cross-legged position. Bring your hands to your chest. Namaste. Thanks for joining us, yogis.